Hey, I'm Doc Solo, the director of Ka-Pow, the Comic Art Academy, the real art school for real people with real lives, taught by real industry pros. And let me tell you, I am so blessed and fortunate to be able to live out my passion and my dreams as a professional comic book artist and animator. But you know what I'm most proud of? Is my service to my country as a disabled veteran and my service to my community as a retired police supervisor. And in honor of our vets and first responders everywhere, every course here at Ka-Pow, forever, is 20% off to our vets and first responders. That's right, in perpetuity. Every course that we offer or will offer at Ka-Pow, our vets and first responders will receive 20% off, as well as their spouses and their children. All you have to do is provide proof of service, and you're good to go. So, in honor of our vets and our first responders, we love you here at Ka-Pow, and we thank you for your service. We salute you. Solo out. Ka-Pow. All right. Okay. Happy Veterans Day. Oh, I don't have anything with me on here, so let me quickly add my mug somewhere. Good afternoon. Hello, everyone. This is Doc Solo, the director of Ka-Pow, the Comic Art Academy. Happy Veterans Day. If you are watching this in your lunch break or at home, thank you guys for popping in. And we're going to start making these live streams more frequent here at Ka-Pow. And I thought no better time than to launch this new direction than on Veterans Day, being a veteran myself. And so we are grateful and we are fortunate to be able to have this opportunity to do this on Veterans Day. There we go. And we'll go ahead and put that right about there. How's everybody doing? And I'm not going to prolong it. You see, I have General Thunderbolt Ross. I was going back and forth trying to figure out how I wanted to do this today, which character I would focus on. And wouldn't you know it, the work was done for me as soon as I saw the trailer drop on on YouTube with the new Captain America trailer featuring none other than General Thunderbolt Ross. And so he's a veteran, right? General Thunderbolt Ross. So I thought it would be appropriate to go ahead and have some fun. I already laid out the sketch here. As we move forward, most of the sketches will be put on possibly our Patreon. So if you guys want to see the full process, in real time, go ahead and check out our Patreon. Those will be up there later. And if you have any questions, feel free. I'm just going to go ahead and dive in here and get this party started. Gotta have the theme music, y'all. If you're watching, let me know who you are and where you're watching from. Like, follow, subscribe, do all the stuff, whether you're watching on Twitch or YouTube. Come on and join the Ka-Pow family. There'll be a lot of tutorials as well as live streams like this moving forward, henceforth. Alright, so let me figure out what I'm going to ink with. Start off with the ever appropriate microns. Start something a little thicker. If you have any questions about the tools that I'm using or anything like that, feel free to ask and I'll pause what I'm doing and I'll address any questions you may have. That's what this is all about. Get my needed eraser. If there's any vets out there, sound off. As we said in service, sound off. Let me hear from you. I'm going to use a more brush style. Afraid of bleeding because it's paper. You're going to see that I jump around a lot. No rhyme or reason. It's what I've been doing since I was a kid. Little itty-bitty ears. When drawing characters of this scale, you always gotta, again, keep scale front of mind, top of mind. It's the exaggerated proportions that communicate power. And the tiny head. We tell our students here, like, if you ever want to see the appropriateness of it, all you have to do is check out some reference of professional bodybuilders and the like. When you're working out, your everything else will get big, but your head doesn't really grow, right? And so the proportions may look a little weird, but they are largely more appropriate than not. Another reason why I kind of jump around a lot is because it allows me to kind of catch intersections and tangents ahead of time. Because if you draw straight through, especially in a sketch, you may lose track of what line or element you want it there in the first place, especially if the sketch is relatively loose. And so for me, jumping around oftentimes helps me avoid that level of avoid that mistake. It's gonna be enough errors anyway, so I try to minimize them on my part. It's very, very hooded. And I'm also a page spinner. I know you guys see a lot of those other time-lapse videos and whatnot, are those prodigies that can draw with the paper in one position. I have to continuously rotate to stay within the strength of my stroke. Tombow. It's got kind of a felt tip, which is great for line variants when you guys are working, if you decide to use it. The paper's not that great, which is why you'll see me speeding up the stroke a little bit to kind of minimize the bleed and the blurriness. When you're on paper that's extremely absorbent, when you have a really absorbent substrate, stroke speed can help offset some of that absorption. Eyes kind of cast in shadow, so that if I color this, it'll really make the color pop. Guys are watching, let us know what you're watching from. If you guys want to give a shout out to a veteran that you may know, let me know and I'll stop and I'll shout them out. Today is Veterans Day and we are honoring our men and women of the service. that help protect our freedoms that we so often very much take for granted. Even something like being able to stream, you know, in the safety of my office, not to be taken lightly. There's a lot of people around the world who don't have that luxury. Switching over to my micron because there's a level. I'm a details guy, and I really like clean lines. If I can control it, I have a huge hatcher, but we're gonna do some hatching here. What's up, son? Add a shadow here to add a little bit of cast shadow in the nose. Get back to blocking. Again, told you guys I jump around a lot. Jump around a lot. There's no right or wrong way. We teach our students at Ka-Pow, it's the way that works for you that leads you to the desired outcome. That's it. That's the right way. Start drawing vascular intersections here. Because of where I've decided to kind of place these shadows, I've already established that the light source, it looks like Harrison Ford. I've already established that the light source is coming from here. Okay? It's coming from here. And so I'm just going to continue that. I worry less about the light source when I'm doing a sketch. and kind of let it just happen organically. Now when I'm doing a more in-depth piece, that, you know, that is, I take that more into consideration. But on sketches, I kind of like to keep it light. You guys can see me jump around with tools here. And blocking in this black here. Shout out to my people down in Atlanta and ATL. Much love. Again, I'm reinforcing that light source up here by how I'm shading the hair. I got stuff dropping on the floor, y'all. I'm in my office. So this setup is not, I'm not quite acclimated to it yet. If you guys saw the Brave New World trailer, let me know what your thoughts are. I was looking at what military appropriate characters to do for the stream. It was a toss-up between Thunderbolt as well as Isaiah Bradley, who I love that character. Blocking some heavy shadows here. Why not? So I got the brush in my hand. Again, told you guys I jump around a lot. Me and brushes have a very tenuous relationship. We're still learning each other. On a nice organic line, but brush is definitely the way to go. Me, I typically, my preferred aesthetic is a little bit more technical and less organic, but I'm trying to learn how to loosen up. So a lot of times you guys are going to be seeing me actually work it out in real time. Okay, I'm not treating these things as if they're uber precious. So you actually get to see me problem solve. You know, I know the general consensus is to go ahead and go, especially when you live stream, and just play to your strengths. But I think that that's a little disingenuous when it comes to the learning process, because us as artists, we should always be learning and evolving in our craft in a very deliberate way. And me personally, I think I'd find more value in watching someone get outside of their comfort zone that is actually, you know, considered, you know, proficient. Because we don't get to see that a lot. At least I don't get to see that a lot. I'm gonna do a heavy pec shadow here. I don't know if I'm gonna give him nipples yet. Definitely gonna have a huge cast shadow underneath here. So that's got a cast all over. That's gonna block a lot of light under here. A little rim line. Again, because I've already kind of committed to the light source, I have to keep that in mind as I progress. See, I'm leaving a little room here for rim light. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. If not, I'm just drawing. So I try not to lose myself too much in the art, in the process. One thing that you can't beat a brush in is laying down huge blocks of black. You can't beat a brush on that. Gets it down quick. Especially if you're someone like me. Like my biggest issue when taking on the brush was traditionally I always had a very heavy hand. You know, when you're just drawing with pencils and markers, you have the luxury of just leaning into the art. Much less so with a brush. Trap shadow there, and whatever hatching I'm gonna do, I'll do later in the piece. Again, speed matters. Light hand, speed. This is a quick way to kind of smooth out those lines. I don't know if you can catch it on the camera. It allows to really smooth out those lines really quick so to get rid of those blurred edges. Again, this is Strathmore sketchbook, sketch paper, right? 400, series 400. A little bit more absorbent than what I'm used to. What's going on? Hold on. Lost the camera. Lost the camera. Yep, lost the camera. Hold on. Just a second, we find out what's going on with this camera. Wouldn't be a stream if something didn't happen, right? Live stream. Hope you guys are having a good time. Enjoying the fiddle. Start this camera. We're making pretty good time too, so not complaining. Hiccups aside. Just waiting for this camera to reboot. I'm using continuity camera, which is always fun. There we go. I think we're reconnected. There we go. Yep, we're back. All right, so let me get this back position. At least I thought we were back. Oh, girl, act right. There we go. There we go. Back all right, y'all? I think she's acting right. Let's see. I think she's acting right. There we go. All right, I think we're back. Cool. Thank you for your patience. We're back at it. Woohoo! This is Pentel color brush. I remember when, so really quick story. Before Amazon, before social media and international purchases, I got my first Pentel color brush back in the 90s from my mentor when I was at Startoons, and I believe they're a product of Japan, and he was someone that was very much ahead of his time, at least here in the States, with his dealings as far as a consumer dealings with Japan as an artist. And I remember when he gave me this, I treasured this thing because you couldn't get them anywhere here. There were a lot. It was so hard to find. Now I just go on Amazon and you're good. Gotta love it. Gotta love progress. It's amazing how shadows and light sources make things pop. All right. I'm just blocking in based on knowledge of anatomy. Is it out of focus again? Oh, okay. It's back. Cool. All right, cool. Make sure that it stays back. It should be okay. I'm gonna have to look back and forth frequently. Yeah, I think hopefully we're still good. Good. We're good. I think we're good. I hope we're good. I used to be so terrified, you guys, of just leaning into using black because it's so permanent. But this is that confidence thing that we stress at Ka-Pow with our students. When I often get a question like, what do you prefer, traditional or digital? And for me, I really like to start my day off with a confidence boost, and nothing builds confidence like permanent media. Nothing. Pen, ink, marker. You want to grow as an artist. Yes, we have Clip Studio Paint, which you'll see me use here as well, and I love my iPad. But when it talks about that swag, that confidence, everything's a confidence game, you guys. It's a confidence game, and nothing builds confidence like permanent media, because as the name hints at, it's permanent. So you really have to go on with a fair amount of confidence that you know what you want to be there. You know what I mean? Because once it's down, and changing it can be problematic. Not impossible. We have things like, white paint and things like that. Hopefully I can get through this without having to use any of those things. We'll see. But I'm not above it. Know that. See those little fine lines? That's from man, when I first started picking up a brush, getting these little fine things was just a headache. My instructors are much better, especially Brian Shearer, than I am with a brush. This dude is amazing with a brush. Granted, he does a simplified style, which is less forgiving of a brush. He does it more like an animation style, which I do too. But the fact that he uses a brush for it's like it never ceases to amaze me. Kurt Perry says, facts. The moment it switched to a pen. Oh, let me change these colors. Edit. That green doesn't work for this. Oh. There you go. Balancing sport commit, yeah, growth, yeah. Pen and paper. You're gonna ask me. It depends on what game you're playing. I won't try to make it seem like a greater than, less than thing, but it kind of is. There's so many artists that I've seen, especially since social media. Social media is like, it will expose you like nothing else. Putting these little cast shadows in, again, light source coming from down here. So I'm thinking in geometric shapes, you know, forms, simple primitive forms. What would cast a shadow based on what would be obscured? What would the light be able to hit? Like down here, you'd have the shadow coming up this way. But yeah, man, you want to prove whether a dude is really legit and confident in his skills. I've seen so many artists at cons that I've seen on social media, and they get in a live setting, and they are like a shadow of the stuff that they post online. Part of it could be nerves. Granted, drawing in front of people is its own muscle. But a lot of times, what I've seen is a huge disconnect, especially what I'm talking about is primarily digital artists that focus mostly digital. They become so handicapped on digital media that if you can't draw outside of your studio, right, outside of this perfectly controlled setting. Granted, this is my office. This is not my studio, but it's still a very controlled setting. And even more so when you add digital tools, it's very controlled. You got control option Z. You got all these little things at your fingertips, which are great. I use them, so I'm not knocking them. But one of the things we try to encourage our students is, can you do it? You know, are you able to, perform in the moment? And that's huge to me. That's telling to me. To me, that's kind of like, oh yeah, he or she, they're legit. There's very little decline in what I see right in front of me and what they post after the fact. Now, granted, one of the reasons I do a lot of the sketching early is because for me that's foundational, that's crucial, to the point where I notice that when I stream, like I stream for my studio as well, that there's a huge, oftentimes because of the distraction of drawing live, because it is distracting, things may not turn out ideal and can end up a little bit wonky for me. Again, you guys follow here on Ka-Pow. I'm going to keep it a buck with you at all times. All times. No pretense, no, I won't mislead you. Trust matters, at least to me. Trust matters to me. And so with that being said, you're going to get the 411 unfettered, unfiltered, and I'm one of those dudes. The sketch is so, oh my gosh, why do I keep tapping out? Why does it keep tapping out? I don't know why it keeps doing that. I don't know if I can switch cameras, but I might have to. There we go. It's got me paranoid now, y'all. I'll be looking back and forth. I don't know why it keeps timing out. I might have to try a different process next time. In my studio, I have a dedicated hardwired camera. Dedicated. So hopefully those will be a little bit more stable. Yeah, this is getting annoying. Jeez. Let me switch to another camera. Hold on. Switching to another camera. think we're good, hopefully. At least for now. At least for now. I'm still debating whether to go nipples or no nipples. I know that doesn't seem like much of an issue, but some people feel things very deeply. I mean, anatomically correct, yes. But it's comics, everything ain't got to be completely on point. It's more on point than not. See, this is when I start feeling myself and I'm seeing how delicate can I get these lines with this brush without completely messing it up. Hey, Wasabi, how are you? Good to see you, friend. From Twitch? It says semi-nipples ovals. To nipplage or not to nipplage? That is the question. What do you think so far, Wasabi? Are we doing okay? Massive muscles. Huge black. Playing into the rips in his pants. Said nothing fills in these black spaces like brush. Pen, you'll be doing that forever. Thank you. Thank you. Just paying tribute to my fellow vets. But the Ka-Pow streams are going to be more frequent. Oh, and if you guys are in the Grand Rapids area this upcoming weekend, we will be there. You can't miss us. We'll have a pretty large space at Grand Rapids Comic-Con. Okay, we did the nipplage at the Grand Rapids Comic-Con. We have partnered with them as well as another convention, and are currently pursuing more convention partners. So we'll be offering portfolio reviews. We're going to be conducting panels, the whole 9 yards. Why does this thing keep timing out on me? I don't know why it keeps doing that. It's getting on my nerves. It should be stable. It's connected. I might have to connect this directly to my computer. Hold on a second. I think that's what I'm going to do. Connect it directly to the computer. Hold on, people. The thing is, I'm recording all of this so that I can edit it later if I decide to repost it. So nothing lost, nothing gained, right? Yeah, the timeout is getting annoying, so I just connected it directly to my computer. Hopefully that will correct it. Let's see. Hopefully this will solve the timeout issue. Hopefully. We can hope though, right? Let's see if now that it's wired directly to my laptop. We'll figure it out though. I think that's as right as I'm gonna get it for now. That's as right as I'm gonna get it for now. Hopefully we won't get any more timeouts. We can pray. We can pray. Not that I'm just going to use a different camera when I come to the office. There's always that, right? Use what works. But yeah, if you guys are in the Grand Rapids, Michigan area this upcoming weekend, come say hi. We're going to be celebrating our first group of Ka-Pow alumni. It's our 4th year of existence, and we are proud to celebrate 2 amazing storytellers that are that trusted us with their creative journeys to this point. I hope so. I hope so, friend. It's getting on my nerves. just so you guys know, just by streaming today, I'm violating an agreement I made with my wife. But she forgives me. She'll forgive me. Again, keeping light sources in mind will determine a lot of placement for muscle tone, shape language, and the like. I have a tendency to be very geometric in my shape language, which I don't hate. That's actually the style I prefer. The key is trying to find a balance between that and organic, right? See, I like straight lines. I like clean, all that stuff. I'm just hoping that this brush survives the stream. Hoping the brush survives the stream. Again, if you guys want to, I'll have the full process, including the sketch, the initial sketching process, the exploratory process. Probably end up putting all those on the Patreon as we grow it out as well. Again, that's, you know, we're gonna have more shadow here. Make that cast a big shadow. What I'm doing is fighting my urge. Again, know where you are as an artist and be okay with that. Like, my Achilles heel has always been this innate fear of solid black areas. Solid black areas. Because I am a transfer, an expatriate of the, well, not an expatriate, I'm still a patriot, so I'm about to start animating again, of the world of animation. I like open. I prefer nice open aesthetics. You see all my loose sketches on my back piece of paper. Y'all seeing too much. Any questions, feel free to ask. I'm here at your disposal. I haven't quite got a streaming schedule down, but we're going to try to solidify one here for Ka-Pow. I've already talked to my instructors. They've agreed to kind of join me every once in a while. We're going to be doing some streams from some challenges using the app that I created, the Power Prompt, to kind of keep it interesting, which kind of throws you out of your creative comfort zone. So here I am again, but I'm going ahead and fill that in with black, just to kind of some contour. This must have kind of add contour. Again, when you're doing your shadows, consider the contours of the underlying shapes. It matters with shaping your shadows. Something I see a lot of beginners not consider. They just kind of put the shadows in, and the shadows kind of fight the forms. Now we're venturing into the danger zone where I start using the brush a lot more than I planned on, because I'm lazy. And I'm curious to see if I can really push myself until I mess up. And that sounds weird. Why would you want to mess up solo when you're live streaming? Because I'm trying to pretend that no one's watching this and that no one will see this. That's why. And this is how you get better, is by pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone, like I said earlier. Normally this is where I would kind of start coming in with markers and the like, but I'm fighting it. I'm fighting it. I really need to build up my brush confidence. That's why I'm doing this. See, I got a lot of things that could be filled up right here that I'm not doing because I'm afraid. And it'd probably look better if it was just black. See, that looks better than me already. Again, light source bolt. Light source from the upper right side. some of these shapes. All right. So your question would be, let me put it up so everyone can see your question. How do you know how much key black shadows there should be in certain areas versus others? Like what is too much versus not enough? For me, I've had to learn to give less to the clenched teeth, and then there's deep areas and how you would do between the legs. Ambient occlusion is the fancy word, right? It's having a general knowledge of where light will reach and where it won't. And if there's a bounce light and a secondary light source, where would it hit? Because there's usually a secondary light source. And then you also have to consider things such as color theory. What colors absorb light? What colors reflect light, right? And so red is largely, because of its place on the value scale, it is more absorbent than, like you said, the white on the teeth. So the white on the teeth would actually reflect light back to the light source, which require less detail. Okay, I'm keeping in mind that he is red, right? First and foremost. And that red is helping to dictate how I believe, based on previous experience, how that hue would respond to this light source. Again, color theory is a theory, right? Because light in and of itself is largely theoretical, how we believe it works. And so loosely using, and keeping, not even using, considering, let's use that, that's the best word, considering what I know about color theory. Primary light source, again, let me, here, because I can erase it. Primary light source coming from here, right? The geometry, the base shapes, the forms of what would catch light, like this would catch light, that will catch light, that will catch light, that will catch light, because I want volume on this peck. This peck would obscure some light here, right? As well as some of these abdominal muscles. Okay. We'll obscure some of the light there. Less black here, because let's pretend that light is reaching this. But here's the funny thing: we can't be too rigid with it, because there is a level of clarity that also has to be maintained, right? There's a level of clarity, and so readability is also plays a factor here. There is right, and then there's relevant, if that makes sense, right? One of the things that I stress as an instructor is there's the right way, there's science, there is, again, physics, those kind of things. But when we're talking about a visual communicative medium, there's right and then there's relevant. And there's this balance between the two. And what's relevant, more times than not in visual communication, is readability. Okay? Readability is always relevant. It's always right. That's what connects right, scientific. That's where there's anatomy, the whole 9 yards. Like when we were teaching foreshortening, that's oftentimes a sticking point for a lot of young artists, is foreshortening. And dynamic anatomy. Dynamic anatomy is a huge one, okay? It's a huge one that we're always kind of running into issues with, because when you use photo reference, everything that's anatomically correct, everything that's right, is not necessarily relevant and readable, and it may look weird. And so one of the things that we have to kind of reconcile as artists is it reading clearly to the audience, even if it's manipulating or stepping slightly outside, bending the rules of anatomy and physics. There's a time when that's okay. There's a time when that's okay. Because sometimes that level of accuracy can work against you creatively. So when I'm doing these shadows, I'm trying to get general broad sweeps of how color should react and balancing that with readability of what I'm trying to communicate as an artist. But you don't bend the rule until you know the rule, because if you try to bend the rule without knowing the rule, you'll break it. And that's where a lot of beginner artists, they wrestle with that. They try to break rules that they don't understand. So hopefully that helps. I'm bending some rules here. A perfect example that I often use is, like, if you're a fan of the 90s and the artists in the 90s, believe it or not, which I'm largely not, even though I'm a product of the 90s, I kind of skipped that whole era of creative influence for the most part. There's a few exceptions. But by and large, the aesthetics that were applauded in the 90s for the rule of cool. One of the examples I use is two of the biggest ones, Todd McFarlane and Jim Lee, right? Not trying to be, there's a knowledge, there's an informed decision with anatomy and lighting and those kind of things. But what they're not trying to do is sacrifice the energy and the dynamics of the piece. Cool rules all in comics, and that's the truth. Comics is unique in that way, where the rule of cool, it skip everything else. Does it look cool, right? And as long as you show that you have a healthy respect for the rule, without trying to take shortcuts to try to mask your creative deficiencies, most people will buy it. Most people they'll rock with it. I haven't drawn Red Hulk in so long. Actually, Red Hulk was one of my first attempts at a blank sketch cover. I did Red Hulk. I did an homage blank sketch cover of the first appearance of Wolverine. And I swapped out the traditional characters with their updated counterparts. So instead of the Hulk, I had Red Hulk. Instead of Wolverine, I had X-23, Laura Kinney. And then, classic Wendigo, because he doesn't have an updated iteration. He's none that I'm aware of. So me and Red Hulk. And somebody bought that bad fella too. That's always the best part. That's always the best part, is when it resonates with a consumer, with a fan. get some make some traction on this bad fella. I can already see that this color brush is not dying, but it is showing that it's being well used. I don't know how much more I'm gonna get out of it. The striations. How's your 3D been going? If you're still here, Wasabi, how's your 3D been going? You said, interesting. You said you've also had, as 3D artist, you knew about ambient occlusion and indirect lighting, but as a 2D artist, you activate that sense of experience with theoretical. Yes, absolutely. Now, I've actually had a conversation with another artist who also talked about the sense of rule breaking without breaking. Yep, it is. Yeah, it's less rule breaking as it is rule bending, right? It's rule bending. Because if you break it, it's just broken, you know. But if there's other rules that are sufficiently at play, then you may survive that. You kind of create this nest of rules, and so that I think that's an appropriate metaphor. You create this. You have enough rules at play to kind of offset the ones that are bent. I'm not a fan of breaking the rules. Usually, when I see artists that break the rules, to me, it's. I won't say it's offensive, but it's disturbing because for me, it's very obvious when rules are broken, and I personally find them aesthetically unpleasing. Some people like it. I mean, some people like. I've never been a fan of Todd McFarlane's work, even though I'm a product of that era where he was at his height. Never, because he literally broke a lot of artistic rules that I don't think there were enough rules at play to compensate for them. But it was his energy. I get why people like him. I get it. So that it's not even about whether or not I understand the affection artistic. It just didn't appeal to me because of my own personal sensibilities, you know. I know that might be anathema to some people. So I'm like, oh my gosh, he said he don't like Todd McFarlane. I don't like I'm not a fan of his artwork. He's not somebody that I tried to learn from. But when I tell you I respect this man fully as an entrepreneur and as a trailblazer, both things can be true. And I'm adding some really subtle hatching. Not a huge hatcher. Cross hatching or otherwise, I use it very, very sparingly. And I'm trying to learn how to use it more where I feel good about it. I've been studying a few artists like Steven Segovia, who uses really fine hatching, and I actually found that very, and he uses, you know, pin similar to this. In order to get the spacing, you really have to practice. So just FYI, the spacing between each stroke is about actually doing exercises to kind of become effective at it. I don't like using the word master, just to become effective at it. Cleaning it up. See, I got my first mistake. Hopefully I can hide it sufficiently enough. Make a little pipeline here. Pipeline, otherwise known as a prominent vein. Is going right. I had to break my habit of how this register. Okay. Put a little idea across the absence of flow, which makes it easier. Cool. Stylized realism. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. A little line refinement here. I think I'm over hatching. I'm gonna dial it back a little bit. Again, page flipper. Always draw in the strength of your stroke. Is that to say my stroke is weak? I'm not sure. I'll let others decide that. But hey, welcome. If you're watching, sound off. Let me know where you're from. Just sitting here cranking out General Thunderbolt Ross in commemoration of Veterans Day. If you're a veteran, let me know who you are, where you served. As a fellow veteran, I salute you. And our first responders. I like to keep our first responders in there because I'm also that too. Retired Chicago police officer. And so, yeah, let me know. Big shadow there. Pick up my brush again. Peoria, what's happening? Solar Mike, how are you? Peoria. Love my hometown folks. Much love. Thank you for popping in. How are you today? Good. I'm good, man. Can't complain. Can't complain. Just here at the office, trying to get these regular streams going here on the YouTube channel and on Twitch. Celebrate my fellow vets everywhere on Veterans Day. If you guys know a vet, or you are a vet, thank you. If you know a vet, show them some love today. Just tell them thank you. My granddaughters were like, they told me thank you this morning. It was so sweet. I'm like, what are you telling me thank you for? Because, Chipa, you were a veteran. I said, yes, I was. Yes, I am. And we want to thank you. I'm like, granted, I'm sure they were coached by their grandmother and my daughter, but still sweet. I don't know if they fully understand. Hey, Dawn, how are you? I'm good. I'm good. You're he said honor. Yes. Here I'm Ka-Pow. How are you today? From Twitch. I'll be streaming on Honor Studios. That's my my studio. For those of you who are watching on someplace else. I'll be streaming on Honor Studios tomorrow, trying to get back to the Tuesdays and Thursdays format that I initially planned. I'm glad. Oh, thank you so much, Wasabi Cheetah. For those of you on Ka-Pow School, thank you so much for your service and contributions to the cartoons I grew up watching. Thank you. Thank you. For those of you who are wondering, what he's referring to is I had the privilege of being, in my formative years, working as an intern on shows like Batman Animated Series and Animaniacs. And unpaid intern, but it was a time that was very precious and very transformative for me as an artist. It was the first time I was ever in a purely creative environment, and I didn't know such a thing even existed. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks, Don. I look forward to it too. Hello, welcome. If you guys are popping in to peek, welcome. I'm Doc Solo, the director of Ka-Pow, the Comic Art Academy. finish up this something that resembles a knee. Calf. Squeeze, get it juicy, dry out underneath these broader strokes. I think that did it. I think that stopped the timeout plugging it directly into my yeah, that stopped the and here's the beautiful thing. When a brush starts to dry out, keep it. Keep it. This one's it's still laying down a juicy enough line, but a dried out brush is a great tool for certain effects, like clouds and textures and the like. We have this top part of the quad here. I don't want to create another muscle, but it looks kind of, so I just put more black in here. I don't want to create a muscle that doesn't exist. I was wondering why I'm so hungry. It's almost 2 o'clock. The beautiful thing about art is that you can just get caught up in it. That's what I love about it. Well, need some juice. I know I'm asking a lot at you. I have to keep a stash of these here. We'll order some more as soon as I get off. Again, if you guys are anybody's in the Grand Rapids, Michigan area this weekend, Ka-Pow will be at our partner convention, Grand Rapids Comic-Con, from Friday to Saturday. Can't miss us. We're on the guest list. Go to grcc.com, and we'll be doing panels every day, as well as some interviews, and we will be celebrating. They will be on hand. Our first 2 certifying students that have completed our main 3-year course for adults. So if you guys are interested in Ka-Pow, check us out. Understand, people. I'm doing a video on it. I'm doing a video as well that, you know, if it were not for the other things that, like my studio and Ka-Pow, I probably largely would not be on social media. And that's the truth. I'm just from a different generation, and especially as art, I kind of like the solitude, and it's the name Solo. That's where the name Solo comes from. Right? Add some mass here. Yeah, this is like nice and like starting to really dry up in a nice way. Now, I'm not a grunge type aesthetic, but I'll find some uses for it. Trust that. It's great for texture. All right, let's get this last hand in here. And I like really thick monotone outlines on my sketches, my ink sketches. It's a personal thing. No real reason why, it's just personal. Really sells the whole comic aesthetic. Nice big massive foreshortened fist in the front. Hey, an artist has to have their vices, right? Real quick, let's pay a few bills here, and we'll get back to drawing, and we'll finish this up. Hey, I'm Doc Solo, the director of Ka-Pow, the Comic Art Academy, the real art school for real people with real lives, taught by real industry pros. And let me tell you, I am so blessed and fortunate to be able to live out my passion and my dreams as a professional comic book artist and animator. But you know what I'm most proud of? Is my service to my country as a disabled veteran and my service to my community as a retired police supervisor. And in honor of our vets and first responders everywhere, every course here at Ka-Pow forever is 20% off to our vets and first responders. That's right, in perpetuity. Every course that we offer or will offer at Ka-Pow, our vets and first responders will receive 20% off, as well as their spouses and their children. All you have to do is provide proof of service and you're good to go. So, in honor of our vets and our first responders, we love you here at Ka-Pow, and we thank you for your service. We salute you. Solo out. All right. So, vets and first responders, we love you guys here. And we want to show that love. So hopefully, if there's a vet and first responder who loves the comic arts and wants to pursue it and bring their stories to life, check us out. We got you guys covered. without breaking the bank. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Hey, it's the least I can do, man. You know, hopefully as we grow as a school that I'll be able to do more. That's my prayer. That is my prayer, Wasabi. But until then, I do what I can. You know, we have great instructors. Our students are phenomenal. Um, I'm grateful. And none of it wouldn't have been possible without, again, the journey I have is largely even the disciplines, whatever disciplines I may have acquired, it's due to my service time. I went in largely directionless as a young man. I knew that I needed something to help me feel good about myself and increase my confidence. You know, I struggled with confidence very early on. And the military was a huge part of my development. Huge part of my development. Oh, thanks, guys. The blocks was for you. I saw it happen. I still can't wrap my head around how you do. That's why we teach it, cuz that's why we teach it. You know, we teach it. And so, yeah, I'm gonna try to make this a regular thing, weekly, at least one weekly live stream from me or somebody from our team here at Ka-Pow. To we're gonna take a break from a lot of the interviews and really establish our own identity here on YouTube. Um, I enjoy the interviews with our guests, and we're still gonna do them. I'm just gonna dial them back a little bit. And so that now that we're kind of trucking as an entity, we kind of want you guys to know who we are as a school and as artists here at Ka-Pow and what we have to offer, and hopefully give you guys some real artistic value with some tutorials and all the other things, you know, that we have planned. Class Pass, which is our behind the scenes actual access to recorded classes that we've taught, with some reinforcement by me, kind of driving home the point in real time, well, in recorded time. I don't quite like that thumb, but we're going to rock with it. We're going to rock with it. We're going to rock with it. The only reason I'm using this brush now is because the other one's is losing its juice. Hey, wife. I'm still drawing, wifey. This is my wife, Coach Toy. She's checking in on me, make sure I'm sticking to the plan. I'm doing the plan. I'm doing the plan. My wife is an incredible strengths coach, and believe it or not, me streaming her today is actually the result of a. Now she ain't free, she ain't cheap, but since I'm husband, I get husband discount. But she really helped me sit down and assess why some of the things that are very crucial to Ka-Pow's growth and even my studio's growth, why they're not happening based on my assessment. And she broke it down in a way that was just eye-opening to a profound degree. And she'll be launching her YouTube channel here soon, helping people maximize their inherent strengths and gifts. Because only she can. She's excellent. Dealing with corporate entities and educational institutions. She's my wife, but won't be plugging her if she wasn't good at what she does, and she knows that. I'm working the plan. Like I said, I would. And it's hard. Just FYI, it's hard sitting here. It is hard sitting here. My brain is everywhere at this time. Of all the other things I have to do for Ka-Pow and getting ready for the show, but this is crucial. And believe it or not, y'all, that's really why I've been hesitating, is because I always have other things that demand my attention. But now with the realignment, thanks to my wife, I kind of am able to realign things. And so moving forward, you guys can be seeing a lot more. Here at Ka-Pow, as well as Honor Studios. Time to celebrate the win. Guess we'll be celebrating the win, baby. Line way to kind of push that fist forward. Okay, shadow here on this pinky. Gonna add some small hatch textures, and we're gonna call this one done. This is the cleanup work. This is that final 7 to 5% that makes or breaks a piece. Now I know you can't tell that it's Thunderbolt Ross, but because I didn't add color, I might add color later. But it is. Funny, without any color, it's hard to tell what one from the other. It's kind of like that Punisher effect, I call it. Like if you didn't have the skull with Punisher, you wouldn't know who the character was. It's an identifying characteristic. With the Hulks, now that there's more than one, color is that. It's the identifying characteristic that defines them or identifies them. I'm putting these hatches in the direction of the light source. We have our faint nips, thanks to Wasabi Cheetah. On Twitch, who's watching us from Twitch. Gray Hulk, Green Hulk, Red Hulk, and Planet Hulk, right. Right. I would color them, but I just don't have enough time. I have other things I got to get to today. I'm trying to keep these streams right at around 2 hours. Seems to be a sweet spot based on some other art streams that I watch here on YouTube. And I'm one of the few people that actually watches all 2 hours because I love to watch artists work and navigate the problem solving inherent in art. So I'm one of those nerds that will sit and watch a Dave Finch live stream. Shout out Dave Finch. Don't know you from a can of paint, but hey, I'm still waiting for my my book that I ordered on Kickstarter. I saw other people have gotten theirs, so I'm hoping the mine's on the way. The Marvel Art of Dave Finch. Want my book, Dave? Don't make me come hunt you down. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Wasabi. That's more to come, friend. More to come. Ka-Pow is all about teaching. It's all about teaching. Hopefully, anyone's watching this live or on replay, hopefully you got something of value from it. And hopefully the shadows don't look too overworked. Again, I'm working out things as you guys are watching me in real time, overcoming my own idiosyncrasies and hesitations as an artist. One of the main ones with me is black. Again, the use of black and the use of a brush. That's a major one for me. So, if I can do it, you can do it. If you want to learn how, we teach it at Ka-Pow. We got some incredible instructors here at Ka-Pow. My team is outstanding, and I'm not biased because they're my team. They really are outstanding. I'll be dropping more testimonials from our students that we have, as well as the alumni that are about to graduate. And if you're free on Saturday, check out, have notifications and stuff on, because I'm going to try to live stream the actual certification of our students from the con. We have a really nice experience planned for them. And you guys get to see how we treat ours here at Ka-Pow. The love and the TLC that we provide that only an institution of our size can do. There's a power in being inherent nimbleness that I love about being smaller, as opposed to trying to make it a huge, whopping entity. Some people say I'm not ambitious enough. I don't know if I agree with that, but I like being able to connect with our students. I was just took time out of my day a student wanted to tell me about their first experience at a convention, and just wanted to share it with me. And so, that's that kind of culture we have here, that kind of don't want to lose. It matters to me. A student, and I enjoyed talking to him about his experience, because it was a convention that I've been curious about for years. It's not even a comic book convention; it's an artist convention. But just hearing his experience motivated and excited me, and he's new to the game. I'm like, shoot, just based on your assessment, I'm probably gonna try to get there next year. Some cracked. Now this is what we call noodling, right? This is like the last. This is when a piece is almost done. This is when you're just looking for gaps to fill in and kind of refining. And even with noodling, you got to know when to say when. This will be a little bit deeper in shadow because of where it's located. So I'll go ahead and add. Remember, when hatching, always use hatching to add contour, light source, and shape of the object, underlying primitive shape. Just don't do it I know I'm going through this fast, but I already know what these shapes are. At least how I want them to communicate. Still spinning. Almost done. Because I'm hungry, y'all. A little bit of texture to these rips. They read well. Okay. Just roughing it up a little bit so it doesn't look too pristine. A little texture goes a long way. Usually this is right where I mess up, and so I'm about to call it quits in a second. Yeah, it does. It does. More, yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right. You have a great eye, Wasabi. There's a method behind my madness, my friend. There's a method behind my madness. And I'm still trying to figure it out, you know, quite honestly. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stick a fork in this one, because yeah, I'm noodling way too long, and again, this is where I usually mess up. I'm gonna go start going down the noodle rabbit hole. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and let me get my kneaded eraser and clean them up a little bit. Right. And the pencil that I use is a Prismacolor Coal Erase, just so you know. Again, it's a Prismacolor Coal Erase. It's a soft core colored pencil that responds a lot like graphite. It's not as waxy, and so it lifts off the paper fairly easy. Okay. All right. We're gonna stick and forth this and call it done. All right. Thank you guys for hanging out, and happy Veterans Day to all my veterans. Thank you for your service. For all our first responders, I know it's not your day technically, but you all are helping to hold things down here at home. And remember, if you are a aspiring comic artist, or somebody who wants to learn visual storytelling, and you're a veteran or first responder, we got you covered here at Ka-Pow with a discount of 20% in perpetuity for your service. All right, so with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and call this one done. We're going to stick a fork in this one and call it done. Thank you guys so much. Check us out at teachutodraw.com for more information. If you've enjoyed this, like, follow, subscribe, do all the things, whether you're on Twitch, YouTube, watch the replay. Enjoy. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. If you have comments, leave them in the comments. But I am out of your hair and out of your life. And remember, life is short. So live, love, and laugh as if it's your last day on earth, knowing that when all is said and done, all that will ever be remembered of you is the life you've lived, the lives you've touched, and the stories you've created. So with that being said, what are you waiting for? Hopefully I'll see you guys in class. Solo out. Hey, I'm Doc Solo, the director of Ka-Pow, the Comic Art Academy, the real art school for real people with real lives, taught by real industry pros. And let me tell you, I am so blessed and fortunate to be able to live out my passion and my dreams as a professional comic book artist and animator. But you know what I'm most proud of? Is my service to my country as a disabled veteran and my service to my community as a retired police supervisor. And in honor of our vets and first responders everywhere, every course here at Ka-Pow forever is 20% off to our vets and first responders. That's right, in perpetuity. Every course that we offer or will offer at Ka-Pow, our vets and first responders will receive 20% off, as well as their spouses and their children. All you have to do is provide proof of service, and you're good to go. So, in honor of our vets and our first responders, we love you here at Ka-Pow, and we thank you for your service. We salute you. Solo